Of the stars. Dr. Bell has dedicated her entire career to transforming lives and enhancing the beauty and confidence of countless individuals, including some of the most recognizable faces in the entertainment industry. As the founder and CEO of the esteemed Belo Medical Group, Dr. Vicki Bell has garnered international acclaim for her exceptional expertise and innovative approaches to aesthetic medicine. With a team of highly skilled professionals and state-of-the-art facilities, Belo Medical Group has become synonymous with excellence, setting the gold standard in cosmetic and dermatological treatments. Under Dr. Belo's visionary leadership, Belo Medical Group has received numerous awards and accolades for its outstanding contributions in the field of aesthetics. The clinic has been recognized as the best dermatology and cosmetic surgery clinic by the Philippine Consumers' Choice Awards, as well as the best aesthetic clinic by the Asian Aesthetic Dermatology Awards. Today, we have the distinct pleasure of welcoming Dr. Vicki Belo to Orange County, California. As she takes the stage, prepare to be captivated by her wealth of knowledge, her unrivaled expertise, and her unwavering dedication to helping individuals look and feel their best. So get ready to be inspired and enlightened as Dr. Belo shares her thoughts, insights, and visions for the future of aesthetic medicine. Please join me, and this has to be a resounding welcome and applause. And everyone, let's give a standing ovation. Let's all stand up because this is a very big deal that Dr. Vicki Belo is here. Ladies and gentlemen,
please welcome Dr. Vicki Belo!
Hello everyone, a very beautiful evening to you all. Thank you so much for coming to this beautiful place. My gosh, I haven't been here. And you're all so dressed and you look so pretty, so I feel underdressed in my denim. But anyway, thank you so much. Please have a seat. Anyway, thank you for such a wonderful welcome. I'm sure I know a lot of you already here, but it's nice to see you again. I haven't been here, I think. Well, I've been to LA maybe last Feb, but I was here for 1 day. But since the pandemic, I haven't really been coming here. So thank you so much, Miss Pan and Gigi. Thank you for arranging this, and Renz. I really came here just for you. I want you to know that. I'm leaving. I arrived late Friday night, and I'm leaving tomorrow. So it was really a whirlwind of a trip. But Miss Pan is so convincing. She said, you have to come here. Now I want to live here. So is this near, is this Orange County? Because when I used to go to Orange County, I always used to see water, you know, at St. Regis Bar, or I don't know what hotel. So there's also mountains, and I know, and this is, how close is this to where you live?
5 minutes.
Ah, it's like, do you play golf? Thank God. Okay, who plays golf? I hope you use sunscreen. That's probably my number one enemy, golf and swimming. Ano ba, golf and swimming, golf is the worst, I think. I see Paige, there was a time when everybody was playing golf about maybe 10 years ago, and I see my patients age so quickly in like 2 years. They were aging like 5 or 10 years. So anyway, I think I'll go down. Do you want me up here? Because hard to look at the slide and then be annoying at blocking it. So I'll go down here. So the talk is entitled, because we miss the balikbayans who used to come to Manila to have all their beauty services done. Used to be, I would say, 30% of my patients would come from all over the world to have their services done. Of the 30%, 20% were balikbayans, 10% were real foreigners who just come to the Philippines to have their beauty treatments done. So the title of the talk is, It's More Fun to Get Beautiful in the Philippines. Do you agree? I think so, because we're very spoiled when we're there. There's a lot of, care. And of course, even in the States, I'm sure when you go to all the hospitals, it's nice. The nurses are Filipino. They but they, they really give the best care with malasakit and everything. Next slide, please. So let's talk about, I didn't really know what the age group would be, so I kind of, I'm all over the place, but I think everybody needs to know about aging because we are all going to age no matter how young and beautiful you are. So let me explain how the science of living longer. Next slide, please. So there's a lot of emphasis now about living longer, but it's not just a way, it's not living longer, but feeling as young as you look or looking as young as you feel, right? So where is the triangle of youth? Let me explain the triangle of youth because this is something that's kind of a new thing that people are talking about. When you're young, your face is an inverted triangle, right? So can I have you stand up because you're so young? How old are you?
17.
17. Okay, so she said, what's your name?
Kira?
Hi, Kira. So if you look at Kira, you will see an inverted triangle, correct? The point is down here and up here are the cheekbones. Okay, so her skin is nice. Look, I can hardly pinch. Everything is tight at 17. And then I will not get a sample from the audience. Sige, Kira, thank you. Sit down, please. But as we age, so the skin is tight, the muscles are tight, the bones are high in the right place. And then when you get older, ta-da, it becomes a right side up triangle where now this part of your face is bigger. Okay? People always concentrate kasi on eyelids, folds here, but even if you do all these things, you'll still not look young. And people are like, why? Because it's all about triangles. So now we have the right side up triangle, which we do not like. Next slide. So this is a video that shows you what happens. Play it again, please. I'm married. This is a video that says you're 25. What age do you start getting old? Does anyone know?
Day 1.
Huh? Give me a guess.
Day 1.
35? No. 40? No, it's 25. Okay, so this is already the beginning of your decline. So up to the age of 25, you have a lot of growth hormone, everything's still growing, everything's still improving, and then when you hit 25, the growth hormone starts to decline. And there seems to be a direct correlation between your growth hormone going down and your aging. Of course, we do lose 1% of collagen per year of life, right? So, it's interesting because Scarlett now is 8 years old, and I have a granddaughter who's Sienna, she's 3 years old. And when I touch Scarlett's skin, as beautiful as it is at 8, if I touch Sienna's skin, it's still so much more bouncy, it's still nicer. It looks the same, but when you press, it kind of sinks, just like a sofa that looks new, and then when you sit down, there's no fluff, there's no foam inside. That's what happens to our skin as you lose collagen. So at 25, we are now just passing. We're just passing because 75 is a passing grade, correct? And so 100 minus 25 years, we're at 75. But you really start to see the aging at the age, I would say 30 to 40, that's when you really see, and the aging. So let's go move to 45. See, there's a little sagginess, a little thing going down, and you can see that it's not as full anymore. Next slide. 55, okay, let's go, next slide. So, what do we do about it? Have you heard of Thermage?
Yes.
So Thermage is something there's a new version, well FLX is really not that new, but it's pretty new, and it's a new radio frequency monopolar device that can tighten and lift your skin and make you look younger. So you start doing that, really you can start, Catriona just did it. We have a campaign going on in the Philippines right now. And Miss Universe, she's so beautiful. But it really made an improvement in her skin. It contoured her face. She had a bit of a double chin. It helped. I'll show you the picture later. Next slide. So this is a non-surgical way of tightening your face. We're always trying to look for non-surgical ways first. If we can avoid the facelift, we all want to do that. So somebody like Julia Barreto, she's only 26, I think, but she's not doing it really for anti-aging. She's doing it because the new fashion is to have a smaller face. The smaller your face, you can thank K-pop, K-beauty for that. It seems like they want to have a face that's as small as it can be. So as small as her face is, she still went through it to show that she wanted a smaller face. And you can still see a tightening, and if you go here, look at her chin, much better. It tightened, it snatched. Next slide. We have something in the Philippines that we call the Zoom lift. I named it the Zoom lift, number one, because it came out in 2022, I think. So it's pretty new. And you know, one thing the pandemic did, I think, is it made us very aware of how we look. Because we're on Zoom and we can see our faces all the time. Of course, you can see now that suddenly everybody's having their chin filled. That didn't used to be a concern before, which I always thought was a concern, because one of the things about your face is you have to look at it in thirds. So the forehead should be 1/3, and then from the in between your eyebrows to below your nose should be 1/3, and then below here should be another third. In many people, if you check now, a lot of Filipinos, Asians in particular, Chinese, 1/3, 1/3, and then they lack the chin, right? And when you lack a chin and you don't fill a chin, what happens is on the side view, you're not pulling it like that, so it falls like a hammock down here. And that's why a lot of people have a fake double chin. It's not from fat, it's really because the skin is loose and you don't have a chin. So small out, is she big here now? Do people know who she is? Or is this just a Filipino thing? Okay, so small out has been a Belo patient for like 20 years, I think. But, so she has an inverted triangle face, but no, it's beginning to be a little more right side up. So when we did the Zoom lift, which is soft wave, which is a new, it's an ultrasonic device, but it's not like Ulthera. It's totally different. It's 7 times more powerful, and it does parallel beams instead of beams down here. And then we did exosomes. How many people have heard of exosomes? Okay, so exosomes are the new thing that people are all going to talk about in terms of skincare. We've been doing it at Belo for 3 years, but doctors here started doing it. Even in the Philippines, they're all starting to do it. It's from stem cells. So a lot of people go, oh, I want stem cells, oh, I want stem cells. When actually what happened is what they found is it's not the stem cell that's active, it's the exosomes, okay? So we have a big stem cell, it's relatively big compared to the exosomes, and it'll give off these little bubbles, but inside the bubbles were all the things that made a stem cell active. So we don't need a stem cell anymore. We are just going with exosomes. And there are about 800 different kinds of exosomes that will make your skin younger, tighter, works on the muscle, works on the collagen. It's just a cell signaling system that gives the instructions to your body to restore it and make it young again. And the great thing about it is you don't have to match, there's no blood drawing, there's no baby, whatever, placenta or umbilical cord or bone. You know, sometimes they take your bone and then they multiply it. This one is very young and it will always work for you. So here she is, before and after. She's already pretty before, but when you do the Zoom lift and then we add a few threads, it gives her this lift, and she's really more an inverted triangle again. Next slide. Soft wave. So here's my husband. Don't worry, when you come to Manila, we will not put your face up here. I usually, of course, ask permission and they give me. But normally, it's either my relatives or my friends or my husband. So Hayden and I had this contract that I said, you're not allowed to do anything, okay, because you're 23 years younger than me. And so the idea here is you're going to get old and I'm going to have treatments. So at some point in time, maybe we'll look 10 years apart instead of 23. But I noticed that when he turned 40, which I waited for so long, because he was like, how old are you again? I met him, look how bad I am. I met him, he was 25. Wow. And I was 48. But it was supposed to be a fling. honestly, but I'm Christian, so there's no such thing anymore. But I thought, my boyfriend had just died, so chismisan. My boyfriend had just died like 3 months before that, and I really didn't know how to get over it, right? So much pain, so I thought, let me meet somebody, and this guy appeared, and he's good looking, and he's young, and I said, yeah, we can do this for a short time, but we ended up being together. Now we're together 18 years. Yes, see, it worked. After all the drama, in the end, I knew it. I was always thinking, I'm gonna break up with this guy, he's terrible, but then I thought, but when I met him, he was so good. He was really a kind, good person. And then I exposed him to showbiz, and I told him, because people were calling him my boy toy. And he was so hurt because he was a doctor, he was a president of Makati Medical Interns, he was a model for Pt.1, he was varsity basketball, and he's thinking, I never thought I would be called a boy toy in my life because I have achieved so much at 25. But then if you put him beside Dr. Vicki Belo and my friends, they're all like, Vicki Belo's boy toy. So I had this brilliant idea. I said, hey, then, you know what you need to do? Because they kept offering him when they found him. They said, you want to be an actor? Why don't you be an actor? I go, you be an actor. I said, because then people will respect you. Because I know when Ann Curtis comes in, Ann is here, diba? If Hart comes in, Hart is here. Oh, so you have to be an actor so they will get excited when you come in. So he wanted to showbiz and got lost because suddenly all his crushes and all these girls, of course a lot of them are my patients, were really flirting with him and running after him, then became a totally different person. But then I kept thinking, but I knew him, he was nice. I said, God, what if he becomes good again? What am I going to do? I feel so bad. I went through the hardship, and somebody else is going to make, Annie, whatever, what I planted. Okay, so anyway, so I stuck it with him, and now I can tell you he's the best husband and boy, and husband and father. So here he is doing this. Now, why would he need it? Because, you know what? Aging does not happen every year. Based on my experience, I have no scientific proof, but I have 33 years of experience of watching people, and they don't age every year. It's like they won't age, or for me, I was 48, I thought I looked really good, and then I thought, I must be such a great doctor, I don't age. And then between 48 and 50, I aged like 5 years. It was so fast. And so he didn't age until 40, and then I saw him 41. I'm like, I think you have to have treatment. Anyway, so here, that's a whole long story why he had soft wave. So here he is doing soft wave, and so you can see, it's subtle, but it's obvious, di ba? Parang his face lifted, he got a better jawline, his cheeks are higher, his eyes are a little more open, di ba? But it's like a 1-hour procedure, non-surgical, so this is really good. What are you looking at? The wings. Oh, sige, next slide. We will talk about that. Oh, we won't. You can ask me questions. Next slide, please. So the Belo Exosomes, we're so happy. I found this product. I think this is going to be the future of medicine. Although in Belo we're only using it to make people beautiful, it has so many uses. It helps Alzheimer's. It helps Parkinson's. It's anti-inflammatory, so a lot of the diseases now are inflammation. Your body's always inflamed from free radicals and stuff like that. You take exosomes, it's going to make everything better. It's good for sepsis, it's good for arthritis. But everybody, it's been discovered since 2004. But people are so slow. When I gave a talk last month with a Korean doctor in the Philippines, I said, I hope we're not going to be, I remember I started practicing in 1990. And at that time, 1990, they introduced Botox. And they introduced lasers. It was the first, 89 lasers came out, 1990 I brought the first lasers to the Philippines. And even in the States or in the Philippines, people were saying things like, don't have a laser, don't go to Dr. Belo, she will burn your brain. Really, I had to fight so long. And now everybody's copying me. But at that time, I was crying like, what's wrong with these people? How can they be so ignorant? Especially, and then they thought lasers are for one laser to do everything. It's also not the case. Then Botox, they said, "Oh, she's poisoning people, she's gonna kill them." So I was really like, this is parang going back to that time. With exosomes, people are just so, what's that? Oh my God, it's dangerous. It is so wonderful, and I am very happy that I embraced it now. But I hope it doesn't take like what? How long did it take for lasers to be accepted? Maybe 12 years. Botox maybe 15 years. It's that far. So anyway, our model is my beautiful woman. This girl is really beautiful on the inside and out. She's really, you know, all my ambassadors are nice because I don't take not nice people, but this one is very special. Pia is really, I don't know, she's just so wonderful and so cute and funny. But at 33, before she got married, she said, I have to go to Belo because I'm getting married. So this is serious now. I have to look the best I can be. So this is her having her exosome treatment. And we used her because she has the strongest X factor, and I wanted people to remember exosomes. Next slide. So I'm sure you all heard of Thermage and Ulthera and Softwave. Now let's talk about radio frequency microneedling, which is like what's going on now. That's what people are using. We have this machine, it's called Virtue Radio Frequency Microneedling, and it's really a great machine. It works both for acne and for snatching the face. So look at our model on your left. She has acne, she has oily skin, large pores. You really couldn't do that with one machine before, but you treated her, it dries up the oiliness, it kills the bacteria and dries up the oil, so then you have less pimples. The pores actually shrink. You know, doctors say you can't shrink pores. Well, you can see how much the pores have shrunk. It really, parang makahiya. How many people know that plant? When you touch it, it goes, that's what happens with the radio frequency microneedling. And even the color is so much better. So here it is with Virtue. Remember, Virtue RF. Next slide. So it can go anywhere from young people who are oily with pimples to older people who just need tightening of the skin. Zero Skin Health. So people always ask me, why haven't you come out with your own expensive creams? As you know, I have Belo Essentials, and that's really for fast-moving consumer goods. The reason I came out with Belo Essentials is because my mission in life was to make the Philippines the most beautiful country in the world, one person at a time. And I couldn't do that if I didn't come up with fast-moving consumer items. The reason I thought that is because I am such a nationalist. I love my country so much. And I used to be one of these people who kept complaining, oh, why is the Philippines like this? There's so much corruption, it's polluted, the roads are bako-bako. And then God told me, hey, you stop complaining, do something positive and contribute instead of complaining. But I said, God, I don't know how to do it because I only know how to make people beautiful. So that's it, I want to make people beautiful. So when they go to the Philippines, they'll say, how beautiful the people. They won't see the pollution. Well, that was the plan. But also the reason I never came up with a product is because if I'm not the best, if I can't come up with the best product, I'm not going to do it. Okay? Because I feel that would be cheating my patients of something. And the best product in the world for me, by far, is Zero Skin Health. So Zainab Haji is my guru, my idol, my J-Lo, because she's my favorite, because she's 53 or something, she looks so good. But he is amazing. So if you have a rock star in your life, he's mine. And he came up with the best line of products. It just works for everyone. And the thing about it is it's medical grade. It's not one of these things that you buy, like they smell nice, but they don't really change your skin. Medical grade products will change your skin, but you have to go through like an ugly phase first before it becomes beautiful because they're pretty strong. Anyway, so we use a lot of this in the Philippines. Depending, there's so many ways of combining it. There's no just one product fits all because we're all different skin and we're all different people. But he has enough of an armamentarium so we can combine it well. Next slide. Hair loss. Okay, so girls, our biggest problem normally is getting old, right? But we don't like wrinkles, sagging, blah, blah, blah. But the men, They really care most about their hair. So hair loss, do I have an answer? Of course, what is it? I've been talking about it. I told you it's a miracle thing. Exosomes. Okay, so exosomes are, but let's talk about, so this is the only thing I've come up with my own product. Why? Because it really works and it's so good and I'm very proud of it. So here's some hair loss. So I finally came out with my own shampoo and conditioner because I kept looking for a shampoo and conditioner that would thicken my hair, and I kept buying all this expensive shampoo and it wouldn't work. So we went to our chemist and we said, what are the things, all natural, I wanted it, and it came out of this thick and shiny shampoo. Sabi lang, boring ng name mo. I said, you know, I don't really know how to create names so well, but it makes your hair thick and shiny, so just remember to get it. So this is Albert Martinez. Again, he's been my patient for 33 years, and I have to say, he still looks amazing. Now, Albert lost a lot of hair, and he had one of his bishop things, and then he would always try to make his hair look thick. But when he got my shampoo, diba, ang kapal. Kahit naman he's a gray fox, and he's still so guapo, look at the skin. But the hair, George Clooney of the Philippines. And the best thing about the shampoo, it's only 850 pesos each. Because I really try to make it, reasonable. But I promise you, 1 month, you will see your hair will not fall as much. You'll have baby hair and your hair will be thicker. But if you really need more help, like it's not just falling hair, but you really have baldness and genetics in your family that will make you lose hair, both men and women, because one of the things as we grow older, our hair falls. Then, exosomes. So exosomes, I told you, they talk to the hair. They tell the hair follicles, the ones that went to sleep, that's why your hair got thin. Wake up, make more hair. The ones, make new hair follicles. Those are the factories that make the hair. So you inject them. Don't worry, it's not painful. We have a special needle, we're not using that. We have turtle needles from Korea that are really not painful. Next slide, and here's a sample. So, pre-treatment, 1 month, and after, I think this is 4 sessions. So that's every 2 weeks, so that's 2 months. And it will stay, Of course, you have to keep doing it. You do 6 to 8 sessions first, and then you do one every 2 months, just to keep it there. Next slide. Okay, so after you get pimples, you're young, you have oily skin, finally you outgrow it. By the way, only how many percent of people outgrow acne? Do you have any idea? 50%. Actually, no, 60%. 40% of people will continue to have acne till they get older. If you haven't outgrown it at the age of 25, you're probably going to have it till you're 50 or 60. So this old thing that they keep saying, that myth that, oh, it's good you have oily skin because you won't get you won't get wrinkles, not true. Because now we see a lot of wrinkles and pimples in the same face. So when you want good skin, is hydration. And who is our peg? Those little girls and boys who have beautiful skin, are they oily? No, they're just hydrated, right? So hyperpigmentation, after you outgrow pimples, normally this becomes a problem. This is caused by chronic exposure to sun. So number 1, I want to remind all of you, just because you have kids who are only 3 or 4, you let them go out without sunscreen, that's not smart. Because they're already getting damaged in their DNA, in their protein. And this damage accumulates over the years, and then suddenly one day your body can't repair anymore because it's too much, it's overwhelmed, and then you have hyperpigmentation, you have melasma, and the thing that happens there is that it keeps coming back and it's very hard to get rid of. So my first advice is please always use sunscreen. Always, always, always. They always ask me what is the best anti-aging cream, and I always say it's simple, it's sunscreen. Next slide. So, where are you? Of course, there's a zeosyn system for this. I usually use retinol skin brightener. We have the pads. You know what? The other thing you have to learn from this lecture is that it's very important to get your skin ready for the actives. So it's not enough to wash your face, that's it, pansit, no, not gonna work. You have to wash your face, and then we have a skin barrier, right? God's smart, gave us a skin barrier to keep all the bad stuff out, pollution, dust, whatever. But when you want to put good things in, it's still there. It doesn't know it's good now. So you have to prepare your skin by using either glycolic and alpha hydroxy acid or a comfort pad, and then otherwise the creams don't really go in. They're just sitting on your skin, and tomorrow when you wash your face, half of it will be washed away. Too expensive to do it that way. Next slide. So the #1 laser for this is a PicoSure Pro. So this is my very bad patient. He's very good and nice, but he's always in the sun. Piolo, he's also been my patient for 25 years. I'm telling you, it's hard to be around for so long kasi my patient. But they're very loyal. So, he's in the beach, he doesn't wear sunscreen, no matter how much I tell him. But he goes to the clinic to do the PicoSure Pro, which is a good machine. It's the most expensive piece of machinery in my clinic. It's a laser that costs about $280,000 for this one laser. And what it does is it only treats pigmentation, but it also tightens the skin. Okay, so that's what I mean about lasers. There's one laser for one problem. You know what I mean? You can't, like, pigmentation has to be this. You can't use a carbon dioxide, you can't use a beam laser, that's for red blood cells. So when you go to a clinic, you make sure they have a lot of lasers. If they only have 2 or 3, you better be careful because they'll use the same thing on you, even because you're trying to cross your fingers that it might work, but it's not the right laser. The reason lasers are so powerful is because they match the problem, and they have to be used at a pretty strong joules. You can't make it like, looking at it, warts. When you do cautery, it's like psst, 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 same. With the laser, it's boom, finished, 1, 2 shots max. Because then it doesn't create heat on the surrounding tissue, and therefore you don't get any side effects. So here you can see, yeah, it's in our clinic doing PicoSure every month. Next slide. We have another laser called RevLight, but this one is a cheaper version. We can't really afford so many of the PicoSure, so we have 3, but we have 14 clinics. So this one, sometimes it works. It's a neodymium mag. Sometimes it doesn't work. So what we do is we try it first with the cheaper. Of course, we charge less because it's cheaper. And then if we can see, it's not working, we send it to PicoSure. But sometimes it can get miraculous results like this. Next slide. Okay, so here she is again. So Kat, the other problem she has is she has little fine blood redness, fine blood vessels. So we do the Advolight on her. Now the Advolight is 2 lasers in one. It treats pigmentation and red blood vessels. Sometimes when you see melasma, there's feeding vessels that keep the melasma going.